Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Sammy, United People's TV. It is Friday, the 6th of February. It is the Munich Air Disaster 77th Memorial. I'm going to be having a conversation about the Munich Air Disaster this morning to kick off today's show. Because it's always important to remember what is probably the most significant day in the history of Manchester United in terms of shaping our football club. Now, I'm also going to run through the Spurs game tomorrow. We're going to speak about Carrick. We're going to speak about his press conference. Going to speak about the Athletics, kind of a bit of detail on what Carrick has changed in the training ground and how it's garnered better results and responses from the players. We'll also have a little brief conversation around new manager whiffy reports, and I'll speak on that a little bit later in today's show. Also got a special announcement halfway through today's show, which I think I know you'll enjoy. And also it's Friday, so it's map day, and we're also going to get the latest version of the quiz. So it's going to be a busy show. As always, please do get involved in the comments, and I'll try and respond to as many of you as I possibly can. I want to kick off today's show. I can see it down there. Good morning to you, Gungshi, man. Gifting 20 memberships to kick off today's show. You absolute legend. I can't say enough about you, really. Can you reach out via email so we can actually... We've never really been able to talk properly. I'd be lovely to have a chat to you, dude. I was at 68. Have I got my days wrong? 1958 plus 70 is 2020. 68. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Got my days wrong. Good morning to Steph. Good morning to Carl. To Gungshi as well, as I've already said there. Maddie, you're here too. Addicts as well. Plenty of mods out. Some members. We've got Freddie. We've got Rob. We've got John. We've got Brian, who's not winning the quiz today. Yes, Mr. Smith. If we do bring up that sticker showcase as well, and I'll tell you what, peeps, you're going to enjoy the refreshed new studio look that hopefully you'll see tomorrow. I'll explain a little bit more later. Right, let's get into today's show, okay? As always, please do get involved. No, it's not 77, it's 60, right? Okay, my bad. I got my maths wrong. But today is the anniversary of the Munich Air Disaster, and it's always important on days like this to take 5 minutes out of like the hustle and the bustle. Speak about Spurs, speak about something coming up, all the news that's happening right now, and the constant, movement around United, to step back, not just reflect, but to remember. Now, if I remember correctly, was that the lineup against Red Star Belgrade? I think it was. I think it was. I don't actually know. Because it was United flying back from that game in European football where the disaster happened. And I want you to take a look at this. Right, this is the names of the 8 United players who lost their lives that day. But I want you to focus on the ages. Jeff Bent, 25. Roger Byrne, 28. Eddie Coleman, 21. Duncan Edwards, 21. Mark Jones, 24. David Pegg, 22. Tommy Taylor, 26. And Billy Whelan, 22. Mate, really was just a ridiculously young team. Like, robbed of a generation, really. Obviously, Duncan Edwards, the gentle giant, is heralded as the best player who lost his life. There were 23 people who lost their lives. You can see, of course, the names of the others down the bottom there as well. Walter Crickmer, the club's secretary. Tom Curry, who was a trainer. Bert Wally. Also Frank Swift, who was a Man City fan and a journalist. Man, it's... Sam Turney saying the oldest of them will be 86 today. Jeez. Always hits home when you see that. But as I said, it's always good to remember. And once a year, I share the link to this. So when I did my university dissertation. I did a history degree, by the way. I did my dissertation on the Munich Air Disaster, and I did it on the. I can't remember what the actual main title of it was, but I did it on the social and economic and cultural impact of the Munich Air Disaster. Because it wasn't something that just affected Manchester United or just Manchester. It properly affected the whole of England. So if you want to, it's a 13-part series. Well, it's just a dissertation split up into 13 parts. There's one specific chapter on Bobby Charlton. There's one on, as I said, the social impact on United, on the disaster itself, on anything past that point. If you'd like to read it, take some time out of your day. It was actually writing that made me realise I really enjoyed writing about Manchester United. That was the start of The People's Person as a blog. That was the start of me writing about United. And then years after writing for The People's Person, I then realised that video was taking over and United People's TV was born. So this was the origin. Really, really was. So yeah, if you can, take some time out, read that today. It's always good to remember. It's not always good to remember. It's always respectful to remember and to understand the roots of Manchester United, because the history of this football club runs deep. And it is in the veins of everything that still exists today. The Manchester United that you know today is shaped by the Manchester United of the past. So if you are going, because obviously there will be a memorial today, I think it's under the East Stand at the plaque. I think it's about 2:45. Go along if you can. Blazing Runner, it's your birthday today, apparently. 50. Congratulations to you. Life starts at... life don't start at 50, mate, does it? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Volpez, you're asking if the link can be pinned. Alex, if you can share the link in Discord, then all of you can reach it in there. If not, I'll be able to... I'll drop the link in there after. Right. Let's talk about United currently. And let's talk about the month that we have just had. Now, yesterday, I was like, you know what'd be cool? Like if United can have a clean sweep in January, and it may well be happening. Manager of the month, 4 nominations: Carrick, Deitch, Liam Rosenthal. I mean, I'm guessing Chelsea won their games, but I've not exactly seen happy Chelsea fans. Iraola, don't exactly know what Bournemouth did either, but I mean, Carrick's winning that. Right? Beat City and beat Arsenal. Done deal. Carrick has won United Manager of the Month in his first month as United boss. I'd be amazed if it wasn't him. On top of that, now I said, would it be great if we get like a Player of the Month and Manager of the Month combo? Like we get the double, bit like we did with Amorim and Mbeumo in November, and didn't exactly work out. I was like, yeah, Bruno will get it. No, I'm wrong. And I'm happy I'm wrong. Because Dorgu is up for the award as well. Krupa's had a pretty good month at Bournemouth. Thiago's been banging him in. Florian Wirtz has had his least crap month for Liverpool. I'm hoping Dorgu wins that, because boy would he deserve it. And again, if we're talking about the games I think United had in January, I think it was those City and Arsenal games in which he scored both. Well, in both games. And probably, realistically, he's going to win goal of the month as well. It wasn't just that goal, though, against Arsenal. It was the overall performance. I really hope for Dorgu he gets that. Wilson could well be up for it. He was really in form before he played United. Anyway, could well be Carrick and Dorgu on the double, and I really hope it is. And for Dorgu, I hope it's a double for him personally, with goal of the month as well. And then, just to round it off, Senny Lemons coming up, saving a month. Little quad, we'll take that. Probably the only things we're going to win this season, let's be totally honest. So we'll take those. But anyway, I really hope the Carrick wins it. Deserves it. And so does Dorgu. It's good. That's how positive United's month of January was. Now let's speak about a little bit behind the scenes, because I always enjoy these details that come from The Athletic, who by some margin offer the best United coverage with the journalists that they have and the work that they do. If I was to ever work... does anybody else remember the origins of The Athletic? Well, I said the origins of the Athletic. I mean, the origins of the Athletic in the UK. There was a year, I'm going to guess, 5 years ago? 6 years ago? Maybe even longer than that. Where the Athletic came in and disrupted the UK journalism scene. They just went and cherry-picked all the best writers. Like, you, come over. You're coming. You, good. And what's his face? Neil Custard from The Sun was fuming. Absolutely livid that somebody could come in and just cherry pick the best journalists and bring them to the Athletic. I remember that at the time. It was really hilarious to watch. But anyway, got a lot of time for the Athletic. I'm not sponsored by them. I just appreciate good journalism. If I was to ever go, I suppose I've gone and I went and did a journalism diploma. I wanted to do the traditional journalism route. I've worked at a local newspaper in where was it? Wimbledon. Everyone's got to do that when you're trying to get through. I learned shorthand, couldn't get a job, just couldn't get one. So I realised that I could grow my own blog. I remember at the time my tutor was like, you can never make a career out of writing a blog, because at that point it wasn't an industry that was established. That's where luck can exist. I was just at the right time where it was breaking through, and the ability to have your own platform, it existed and grew. But yeah, if I was to ever work for someone, I'd like to work for the Athletic for sure. No, Samuel Luckhurst was not asked by the Athletic. Yeah, Sam, I would agree with that. I think some of the output of the Athletic overall has gone down since they were acquired. Were they acquired by New York Times? I think they were. But from the Manchester United perspective, I think their coverage has been excellent the whole way. I'm going to run through just some key, I wouldn't say there's a huge amount of things that we didn't know, but just interesting details from this piece, which is on the Athletic. I'll drop the link in the chat now, if you so wish. Let me share that. There you go. Just run through some details on what Carrick's doing. This we already knew. Training is much shorter under Carrick, usually finished by 1 p.m. Players are free to do extra work, and we know full well that Šeško's been doing extra work. Carrick has kept things short, intense, and sharp. I really like this little bit. I didn't actually know this bit. If anyone needs treatment, they are expected to arrive early to get it, and Wayne Rooney revealed on his BBC podcast that United stopped training early before the Arsenal game because the standard was so good that Carrick wanted it bottled and saved up for the game. Now, that might just be a bit of PR, but I like the sound of it. Right. All right, lads, calm down. All right. Yeah, that's enough. I don't need to train anymore. Clearly, yeah, you're ready. You're ready. I just like that idea, so I want to speak about that. Next bit, sort of in terms of how Carrick is as a manager for the players. He's put an arm around those who've needed it, offers clear explanations to individuals as to why they're not starting, which I probably think... oh, dear. One sec. I think that's... oh, go away. That right there has probably been particularly important in these first few games, because remember, Cunha's been benched. First 2 games, Cunha was benched, then started against Arsenal. Šeško's been benched in the first 3 games and has come off the bench and scored the winner, and so has Cunha. So whatever he's explaining to these individuals, it's working. They're not disheartened by the fact. And I was going through that story, I think it was when Gary Neville was dropped by Fergie, and instead of Neville being annoyed as to why he was dropped, Fergie explained to him that he absolutely needed him for the next game that existed in 3 days' time, and he'd definitely be starting. So it just sort of changed the mindset of him. Richard, did you hear that Carrick asked Berbatov to speak to Šeško? Dude, I'm really going to encourage you, and I'm going to encourage everybody else. Please verify the news that you read. It is a plague in modern consumption of news. Somebody just straight up made that Berbatov quote up. Rising Ballers, they did an Instagram post and 130,000 likes until they deleted it because it was completely and utterly fabricated. People, if you see news somewhere and it's not from somebody you trust, like, I don't know, Andy Mitten or Laurie Whitwell or somebody that you don't have to verify because they've got a reputation, you don't have to question them. They've earned that reputation. It's like when David Ornstein speaks, you don't go anywhere and try and verify it somewhere else because it's David Ornstein speaking. He's earned that. Don't apply that to every bit of tosh you read somewhere, to some Twitter account, or it's on a Facebook page somewhere. Read it somewhere else. If you can find it in two places with two different sources, far more likely to be true. Far more likely to be true. I encourage everybody to do it. It's just that people don't do it these days. See, unfortunately, you just walk straight into that one because it was quite literally a made-up quote. Right. Shall we move on? Obviously, this is an important part. Carrick's constant message to his players is that this is only the start. He's been in football long enough to know that how the mood can flip, and this is undoubtedly a honeymoon period. I was reading earlier. I think Solskjaer won his first 8 games as United boss. I think I was reading, and it was the PSG game at Old Trafford that we lost. That was the first game he lost. Of course, we turned it around in the second tie. Mountains are there to be climbed. But Solskjaer won 8 on the spin when he came in. Junior down there saying Berbatov was on Rio's show. He did say he talked to Šeško. I'm talking about what I've seen, which has gone viral this week, which was about Berbatov speaking about... Anyway. The fake news gets on my tits, man. Really annoys me. Anyway. Just a few little details there. If you want to, go and read the article. There's far more in there than I'll be able to explain here. I don't want to run through the whole thing. I agree on that. Long may the honeymoon continue. And Spurs is up next. Of course, Carrick's former club. Former club. He'll want to win. And I'm excited for this game tomorrow. I really am. I covered it in my previous, and we'll cover it in a sec now because we're going to move on to speak about the match. This is the first time I'm going into a United game, in a long, long, long time. I can't remember the last time when. And I'm starting to have that sort of feeling in my head. You know when you're going into a game confident and you're like, oh, shit. Like, I hope these players don't get complacent. I hope this doesn't come across as arrogant or something like that. That's the feeling I've got going into this game, which I used to have all the bloody time as a United fan. Not arrogant, just better. That's what I feel like. Now, Spurs showed in the second half against City, by the way. They are dangerous, and they can be dangerous. But boy, oh boy, are they vulnerable. Like, people talking about revenge. I don't know. The bloody Europa League final came up twice on the podcast. Man, that was a horrendous... Well, to be fair, it was a great trip. It was me, Alex, Chris, and Senor. We had a little trip. We went down to Biarritz. We had one night in Biarritz. That's where our hotel was. And then we ended up getting a car into Bilbao. Like, it's the beautiful thing about European aways, man. If you ever get to experience one, experience it. Because it really doesn't matter what happens in that result. Because everything before it is fun. Sometimes the journey, the first journey out there is always the best. It's not always the best part of the trip. But largely, it's great. Like the Eurostar that we had was class. You're just sitting there, just getting tanked up with your best mates, just talking about United. And there's no football that can ruin it at that point in time. I do miss European aways. Boy, oh boy, I misbehaved. I mean, what else are you supposed to do in European away? Come on. JC, good morning to you, dude. Gifting 20 as well. That's... Both of you, legends. I've got a meeting later. I can't tell you what it's about yet. But I hope it's fruitful because there's something I want to bring to the United People's TV community that I can't currently do. And I need someone to help me with it. I actually spoke to you about it earlier this week. We'll see what the conversation goes. How the conversation goes when it comes to this app. Now, there's something I want to announce now, which I'm pretty sure you're all going to be excited about. When it comes to matchday coverage here on United People's TV, you know full well I'm never going to be doing a watch-along. I've said that enough times. But something I don't think I've done enough of is live match day coverage. So from the Spurs game, I don't know exactly what time, but roughly, probably around about, and just 5-10 minutes before the teams are released, I'm going to be going live on the channel, and we're going to have a match day live build-up show for an hour. Kind of imagine it like the live morning news show, the exact same format, but it's going to be on match day. I'm going to be running through the official team news when it's revealed. I'm going to be running through any pre-match quotes from Carrick or Frank, well, for this game against Spurs. And I'll be running right up until about 10 minutes before kickoff. And I think it'll be a cool way for us to have more of a match day experience because, let's be honest, that's when everybody tunes in. So it'll be a full-on pre-game show. I'll be honest, I think I should have started this a while ago. But now's the right time. So if you don't want to listen to, let's be honest, like the punditry on Sky Sports has just gone downhill. If you want to have somewhere where you can tune in with people that you know and trust, then join in tomorrow. I think I'll be coming live. So the game kicks off at 12:30. Team news comes out at 11:15. I'll probably be going live at about 11:05. So then you can tune in. David is saying, bring back the arms. This is, I suppose, an elevation of the arms. I'll probably be able to introduce some interactive stuff. Like maybe we can bring up a word cloud. That's what I was thinking. Bring up a word cloud. You can send in the things that you want to speak about. And I'll cover it all. If there's any pre-match videos of the players walking into the stadium or talking, I'll bring it and I'll cover it all for you. All right? So make sure you tune in tomorrow. And I hope you enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it because it's been a while since I've done anything really pre-match. I just think it'll be a good opportunity to have some fun. Right. Speaking of the games tomorrow. Well, the games this weekend. What we got? Leeds is playing Forest tonight. Am I watching that? I might watch that, to be fair. I think so. Not sure. Tomorrow, United are playing Spurs at 12:30. Arsenal are playing Sunderland at 3. Dead. I mean, I suppose that's not really that dead, actually. I imagine Arsenal will win, but Bournemouth at home to Villa. I mean, the way that Villa are playing right now, I'm hoping that Bournemouth do a job there. Burnley, West Ham, Fulham, Everton, Wolves at home to Chelsea. I reckon Wolves have got that. Newcastle at home to Brentford. That's probably quite easy. Big one on Sunday. Not Brighton against Palace, because that's going to be a stinker of a 0-0 draw. Liverpool at home to City. So this weekend, you're realistically, in terms of opportunities of points dropped around us, Villa away to Bournemouth is a tricky one for them. And Liverpool against City. We're hoping for a draw. And hoping United can beat Spurs. I think I missed a couple of super chats. Let me go up here and read these. Ant, you're saying winning 5-2. I'm calling it right now. Jeez. I will not be drunk before the game. I will not be drinking at 11 a.m. because I am a man who behaves. But if Corona want to jump in and be a sponsor, come on. Corona is the match day sponsor in United People's TV. Somebody reach out. Somebody get it sorted. Either them or Neck Oil. So Beavertown or Corona. That's what we want as the match day title sponsors for United People's TV. That'll be a dream. How cool would that be? I mean, it's never going to happen, but it'll be cool. Let me see what you're saying down here. Yeah, Hector, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you join in. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it, if I'm honest. It's been a good long while since we've done it. A draw with 3 red cards each between Liverpool and City. I'll be honest. Not being greedy. I will take that, though. Shall we run through the team news? Yeah, I know it's 11:15. It's early. It just so happens to be that it's the early kickoff. But, for example, I'll be doing it again on... Is it Wednesday? We play West Ham midweek. 8:15. So I'll be live at probably 7 p.m. Same for the... Who are we playing? Everton? Is Everton? No. Oh, there's like 13 days between these games, aren't there? It's long. Anyway, I hope you tune in and I hope you enjoy it. Let's run through the team news. You know what's a little bit It's a little bit sad, this. It's Tuesday that we play. Well, there you go. I'll be there 7 p.m. on Tuesday then. But none of us have mentioned the fact that Mason Mount has been missing. Because we haven't missed him at all. I don't mean that in like a disrespectful way to Mason Mount, but it's just true. Bruno's been in his best position, and there's not a chance that anybody would move him. Cunha's been scoring. Šeško's been scoring. And Mbumo's been scoring. Ahmad's been as influential as ever. There is no space for Mason Mount. Even if he was fit, and he isn't fit. And it sounds like De Ligt's going to be back. No, Mount's going to be back sooner than De Ligt, which is... I don't know what to think about De Ligt, if I'm honest. We're speaking with Steve, part of the team, yesterday. And he was mentioning like Rio and the sort of back injuries, the back concerns that came towards the end of his career. I'm thinking, I wouldn't really speak about... I mean, De Ligt's 26. But back problems have a tendency to not particularly go away. I know it's not football related, but if anybody's ever had like a back issue, it's like, it doesn't matter what. Sometimes it can boom. It can like creep up on you or just come out of nowhere. I fear for De Ligt, but I suppose we're just going to have to wait and see. And as I'm going to go down here and see what you're saying. Like a couple of you are saying Mount can go. DP, you're saying I mentioned him missing. Like you're in a minority there, dude. Like United have not missed not having Mason Mount. I think United had missed not having De Ligt when Amram was manager. Since Carrick's been in, that was when Maguire returned. And since Maguire's returned and played alongside Martinez, it's been a really good partnership. And that's worked for United. So I wouldn't particularly say that we've missed De Ligt in these last 3 games where our defending has actually been significantly better. Prior to that, we definitely had. It's going to be tough for him coming back in. Remember that he was, up until his injury, he was probably our best player this season. I do feel bad for him. It's just the way football works, man. An injury is bad for one person and likely good for another. De Ligt's injury, Maguire, he had space to come back in. He's now re-established himself. And given that Maguire wants to be in that England squad for the World Cup, I would predict that you're going to probably see the best of Harry Maguire for the next few months. In the same way that we've probably seen the best version of Luke Shaw for this season. Now, I'm not saying they're doing it just because it's the World Cup, but it definitely impacts them mentally and how driven they are. Because it's like 2 goals instead of 1, and they're both mean being a better player for United. Let me see what you're saying down here. Someone down there, MN2K saying I can back that, Sam. I see what you did there. I had to be medically discharged from the army due to a back injury. It'll never heal. All you can do is manage it. Yeah, I have to... Like, Daz, you're down there saying we have to stop carrying injury-prone players. Like, this is by some margin the longest injury that De Ligt has had in his career. He's not really been someone who's injury-prone. He's had... Mason Mount is. But again, I suppose Mason Mount had some injury concerns and problems at Chelsea before he came here, but nothing on the scale that we've seen here. I would predict that United will try and sell Mount in the summer. Try and recoup some money. I think we'll be able to recoup a fair amount of money, but not as much as we spent on him. And remember that Mason Mount's wages are, I swear they're Bruno level. Right? They're a lot. Wouldn't be surprised if United tried to move him on, because I just don't particularly feel there's a... I think Nick mentioned this on the pod. A player who really... fell foul, I suppose, of Carrick coming in, was Mount. I just don't see a place for him now. Not in this squad. Anyway, sounds like Mount's going to be back before De Ligt. Let's see what happens there. Turn to Spurs. Carrick being polite here. They've got good attackers, want to stretch the back line. It's something we've got to be aware of, but we're looking forward to it. The boys have worked well this week. If you're going to pick somebody out of this Spurs team right now that you're going to go, well, that's their danger man on Saturday, who are you choosing? You're probably going to go Solanke after he scored 2 against City. I'm guessing so. I don't actually think Gallagher's played too bad since he's come into midfield, but you kind of know what Gallagher is. Did get the assist for Solanke's second, though. I always hated playing against Pedro Porro because he was always dangerous. He's injured. Hated playing against Van der Ven. He's injured. Probably their best centre-back. Romero. He's probably missing. I don't know. Solanke's not injured, is he? I don't think he is. Well, he scored 2 against City. Did he come off? I don't think he did. Kudus, another dangerous player, injured. Like, Spurs have got... Mate, Spurs have got savage injury problems. If United had the same sort of injuries that Spurs had, the team that we would put out, whiffy, beyond belief. It would stink out the place. Tell from the bench. I mean, really? Am I going to be... I'm being polite. Like, am I going to be scared of Tell coming off the bench after watching United deal with City and Arsenal in the way that we have dealt with them? No, that's what. This is kind of what I mean. I want United to be going into this game like not arrogant, but fella with respect. I'm not going to be afraid of Matthias Tell coming off the bench when I've just dealt with Semenyo, Saka, what's his face, Jeremy Doku. Like, yeah, calm yourself. That's what I mean. Not arrogant, but just confident. That's what I want United players to go into this game feeling. I'm sure they will. Whether that turned around into that, I don't quite know. Don't know whether Šeško's going to start. Like, superstar, you're talking like, who cares what happened last season? Yeah, like, Spurs had our number last season. And Spurs are also still 14th, having sacked a manager and brought a new manager in, and absolutely nothing has improved or changed. Šeško, though, I'll run through my starting 11 here, which is going to be the quickest one we've ever done. It's the same starting 11. Like, you can come at me screaming that Deleu's got to be replaced by Mazraoui. That's a possibility. I don't think Deleu's been playing badly in these first 3 games for Carrick, if I'm being honest. I don't think anybody's been playing badly. We've also won all 3 games. I just don't see any requirement to tinker. I just can't see it. Do I think that Šeško deserves to start? Yeah, I think he probably does. But I will counter that by saying, do I think that Cunha or Mbeumo or Ahmad deserves to be dropped? The answer to that is also no. They've been playing really well. United have been playing really well. Everybody has. So don't change anything. It means we've got a hell of a dangerous bench. We've got options from the bench. Šeško might come off the bench and score another winner. Who knows? But I just don't see any requirement to change. Not when we're winning and not when we're playing well. And something that I really want to see against Spurs is United pressing high in the first 15. That's something that I would personally watch out for. The kick-off tomorrow, I want us to play like we played against City in the first 15. Rather than how we played against Arsenal, where they had all the ball and we just kind of sat there and soaked it up. And even against Fulham to a certain extent, I don't think we went as full tilt as we did against City. I think if you go full tilt against this Spurs team, like look at that back 3 that they played against City. Just think about it. Romero, Dragosan, and Polina. And Romero went off at half-time against City. Don't actually know whether he's fit or not. Van der Ven, I think, is a major concern. Or was he just out? I think it almost felt like we kind of changed our pressing shape against Fulham. I don't really know why. We don't have to change anything in this one. Drop back into that 4-4-2 shape. Cunha and Ahmad tucking in. Bruno pushing up. And Mbeumo, 4-4-2. Move up and down with it. What's your predictions? Let's fire it in the chat, right? Let's get a poll up. Everyone loves a poll. We've got a poll today. We've got a quiz coming later. We've got the map. Bam. It's Friday. It's vibey. What's your prediction? I used to be so much better at touch typing. United win. Draw. Spurs win. Who's your... A question I'll ask you now. Who's your prediction for man of the match? Who do you think is going to be the real game changer against Spurs? I think there's a real possibility for, if I'm looking at the players they got available, kind of depends on the sort of shift that Udogie puts in, but Ahmad could have fun. If he's out there and playing against an isolated Dragosan, mate, Ahmad's going to try and torment him. He skinned Anthony Robinson inside out. Who else could? I just think, well, they play three at the back, so there will be spaces on the overlap. It's kind of a shame that we don't have Dorgu. I think Dorgu would have fun as well. I think if United hold some proper width here, they're going to have some fun. Quite a few of you are saying, Bruno, let's have a look down here. Always like it when you get engaged. Big up to everyone who's such an engaged in this chat, and we can actually have a conversation. It's great fun, man. Natasha, you think Cunha. John, you think Mbumo. Siraj, you're saying Bruno. Daz, you're saying Kobe. Michael and Philippe, you're both saying Ahmad. Cunha, man of the match. Quite a few of you are saying it as well. Let's be honest. There's tons of names there because you're talking about Cunha's in form. Šeško's in form. Ahmad's in form. Bruno's in form. Kobe's in form. Both our centre-backs are in form. You're talking about a team in form. So you don't actually know who our best player is going to be, and I mean that in a polite way. Sometimes you can go into a game going, well, if Bruno doesn't do something magical, we are screwed. It's not the case. And we haven't really had anybody who's had an off day. I hope you're wrong, Glenn. I do not want Lamons to be man of the match in this game because I do not want him to be busy at all. This Spurs team loses the ball. What is that? I've not got that up. 1 sec. This Spurs team loses the ball in this area of the pitch so often. So far this season, they've lost it on average 4.5 times a game inside their own third. Now, do you know how mind-bogglingly stupid that is? It's so easy to speak. It's easy to speak about the vulnerability that Spurs have. I've never really truly liked United in a high press. I've never really seen United play like that convincingly in a high press. I just don't think the high press is as fashionable today. Someone asking for the quiz link. I apologise, I haven't got that up yet. Let me get that now. Right. Here is the link. Let me go back to that. Bring that back up. No, I'll delete it. Here is the link to today's quiz. Why am I singing? I don't know. Right, there you go. I will pin that to the top of the chat. We'll start the quiz in, what is it, about 5-10 minutes? Thereabouts. 5-1 annihilation. I can see down there the results are in. 300 votes. 91% of you are saying United win. My prediction, I went for a 4-1. That's how confident I'm feeling. An early goal, I could easily see this Spurs team just shitting themselves. Full on. They are vulnerable. There's voices inside the heads of every one of those Spurs players, manager, and the fans. Make those voices louder. Intimidate them. Force them, just like Mbumo did with Zubimendi away at Arsenal. We get that goal because we pressed well, forced a mistake, and we punished it. Do the same thing against this Spurs team, man, because they are there for the taking. Right. 4-1 for me. Let's find out. And we'll speak about that in tomorrow morning's live pre-match build-up. Going to enjoy that. Now, final talking point before we speak about the quiz, right? New manager talk. I'm going to call it out because it's just nonsense. United stand. Forever United. Both running headlines today about sacred talks. Opening talks with Luis Enrique. And the source is Indicalia. I think some people are just past the point of help. My God. Honestly, it's just like going to the bin, pulling something out, brushing off the dust. Let's put that up as news. I just want United fans to start understanding what you're seeing, because it doesn't need to be said. It really doesn't need to be said. Whiffy is not an accurate word to describe that. Truth be told, when it comes to what's going on with United's search for a new manager, of course they are taking their time. There is no need to rush with this because we've got the World Cup. Right? That's the main reason that United aren't taking their time, are taking their time. Also, they're probably wanting to see what happens with Carrick. Both those two things at the same time. It just infuriates me so much that integrity is. I swear to God, a hooker's got more integrity than using that as a source and that as a headline to try and bring United fans in to have a bullcrap conversation that simply doesn't need to be had because there is nothing to it. There is no substance. It is wafer thin. Hungry for content, will cover anything just to... And that's what I'm trying to cut through. And it just aggravates me. Really, really aggravates me. Oh, I'm just covering it. No, you're not. Shut up. Melts. Anyway. The only thing that's said by Simon Stone and the BBC. Right? Yeah, I do... I do blame Ornstein for giving some sort of credibility to Indicalia. David, what did you do that for? Thomas Tuchel spoke to United before, of course, when we were thinking about replacing Ten Hag. Then he mentions Poch. I don't know how Poch is... I don't really know how Poch's name keeps coming up. I really don't. Someone down there saying the quiz link's not working. Pretty sure it is. So... just try it again. Ancelotti, Poch, Tuchel, Julian Nagelsmann, they're all getting named. Good. It's just guesswork. Pure and utter guesswork. Let's focus on what we know. Let's focus on what is happening, and that is Carrick. Which is exactly why we paused our series idea. We produced an entire 10-minute video on Oliver Glasner. Because he was linked heavily at the very beginning. He was top of that list that John Percy from the Telegraph and some other newspapers reported it to. We've been that. We researched, we edited, we did loads of work on that. It'll never see the light of day. Really quite bloody annoying. Because it's a good video. But now's not the time. United, it's the 6th of Feb. Because of the World Cup, I think a lot of the managers, not any manager that we would want, but a lot of them are going to be involved in the World Cup. They're not going to have a conversation really until after they're knocked out. Go on, Carrick. Keep doing what you're doing. But yeah, the manager series has been completely paused for now. I'll tell you what is coming back. Next week should hopefully be the next edition of it. The scouting series. We're going to be doing the second part of that series on Elliot Anderson, on Carlos Baleba, and on Adam Wharton. I think Elliot Anderson will be the first one because it's probably the one that everybody wants to know about. So, the quiz. I need to get the actual song on here.
Cunha, Bruno, Luxo, Cunha.
Ask me in a few years' time, like the names of my nephews. Cunha, Bruno. Right. So, the quiz. If you haven't been involved in one of these quizzes, where have you been? Secondly, we can't let Brian win again. Thirdly, it's 5 questions. It's about the latest goings on at United. The link is at the top of the chat. Click that. Go through. Free to play. 5 questions. Fastest finger first. Whoever's top of the leaderboard at the end of 5, you win the prize. You win the prize. What have we got? As I said, we've got about 15 shirts and about just under 15 posters to give away. So the next 30 odd weeks, giveaway prizes are sorted. Then we could do some more on top of that. Shall we get on with today's quiz then? There's 100 of you in there. You're waiting. I wonder what the max is we've ever played with. Don't actually know. I think it's about 130-ish. Right. Shall we? We need a tune. Where is it? That one? I need to see him dancing to that one. Right. You ready? Next slide. Let's not accidentally break the quiz this time. First question. Which United player was man of the match versus Fulham last week? Casemiro, Šeško, or Cunha? Click, 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 click. Anyone remember playing track and field? 95. Correctly got it as Casemiro. 4 of you got it wrong. Call yourselves United fans. Unbelievable. Who's top of the leaderboard? Ahmed's looking good. Is Ahmed at the top? Strong. Strong from our Ahmed. Right, question 1 done. Question 2, you ready? What shirt number does Šeško wear? You can't see it now. Would I have got that right? Yeah, I would have got that right. Bam! Oh, nearly all of you got that right, actually. 7 you got it wrong. Who was fastest, though? That's the most important. Who was fastest? New fastest? Millie? Millie was fastest. Goes up to 6th place. Ahmed still up top. It was 30, correct. Question 3, baby. Ready? Where has James Scanlon gone on loan? This is a tough one. Rotherham, Swindon, or St Mirren? Now, we covered all of that this week, so if you were tuning in and you were listening, I told you this info. Fun fact, they've just been kicked out of the EFL trophy for submitting an ineligible player. And Ian Holloway's their manager. Swindon Town. I was like, eggheads. You didn't need to do that, Sam. Anyway, Swindon. Right. Who's top? Dex got it right. Oh, that's a fast one. That's got to be a clear win for Dex. 980. Jeez. I think that's out of 1,000, isn't it? Straight up top leaderboard. Mamu's second. But we've got a 37-point lead at the top there. St Mirren is not St Mirren because that's where Jacob Devaney went. Come on. Knowledge. Knowledge. Question 4. Who scored a hat-trick for the under-21s on Monday night? Louis Bradbury, Chidowobi, or Shea Lacey? Again, we covered this. Of course it was Shea. Bam. 13 of you. It's disgrace. Right. Who's top of leaderboard going into the final question? Who's fastest on that one? 964? Raymondo. Right. We've got a 4-point lead at the top. Mez over Mamu. And then Raymond is 7 points off. So realistically, it's probably between a 3-way tie for who might win. No, you still might win. If you're outside of that, but you might not. You ready? Last question. The last question isn't necessarily just about fastest finger first. It's about reading the full question, which I never really did in exams. That's why I didn't do well. You ready? 5th one. United hold the record for winning the Premier League with the fewest points back in 96-97 season. How many did they get? 75, 73, and 79. That's such a long question for me to read. I can't even read it out in time before the question starts. How many points did they have in their lowest ever winning title? Total. It's a tough one. I know you're effectively guessing here. 50 of you got it right. 41, you got it wrong. And so did 26. What's that? 67. It was 75 points. Who gets it? Mez got it right. Cunha Bruno got it right. What about fastest finger? Ian Bro. Oh, jeez. That was a big one. Oh. Mez. I want a burger, man. I haven't had a burger in a while. Big up to Mez. Congrats. Winner by what? 25 points? Nice. Nice. Right, reach out to Alex or Maddie on Discord. We'll get that prize sent out to you. Bam! The latest edition of the quiz has been complete, and I didn't balls it up. Go me. Thank you very much. Well done, Sam. Yeah, cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Just having a conversation with myself. Don't worry about that. Shibba-dibba. Right. Whoops. You've reached the end of the presentation. Now, let's put it together. Klein, good morning to you, dude. All the way from South Africa. Gifting 10 memberships. Good evening. What is it there? Couple of hours ahead. What is it like? 12:55 there? Don't quite know. Anyway, it's the map. You know the drill by now. If you don't, welcome aboard. This is a map of the community members from all around the world. Let me know where you're watching from, the city and the country, and we'll get a few of you added onto the map. And as I said, working with Alex and Maddie, we're going to try and find a way to bring stickers to all of you as cheap as we can. And then we're going to introduce something new to the show. And we'll have maybe some giveaways for the best photo that gets sent in every couple of weeks or something like that. From wherever you are in the world. So whether holding it up in Times Square or holding it up in New Zealand or holding it up on the Arctic Pole. Don't quite know. Right. An hour ahead. There you go. Let's get some of you added onto the map. We've got... Yes, Derek, I see you from Japan. We've already got you on the map, though. We've got Jelenia in Poland. Am I reading that right? Oh, no, man. It's expired. 1 second here. Nobody saw that. That never happened, right? Jelenia. Is that a place in Poland? Jelenia? Yeah. Awesome. Jelenia Góra. On the map. That's a new place. We've got Dennis watching from Groningen in Holland, which I'm not sure if you've got Groningen on there. So you can go on the map. Lovely. I do like Holland. We've got Eunice watching from Diwania in Iraq. Now, we have not had many tuning in from Iraq. Welcome aboard, dude. Let's get one more. I'm feeling fruity today. I don't know where that accent came from. It just came out. We've got Ice Stinger watching from Jhelum in Pakistan. Jhelum. Oh god. How do you spell that? Jhelum in Pakistan. Awesome. Nice. Don't know why I'm saying that a lot today, but I am. As I said, well, that's going to wrap the map up for this week. But new show's going to be starting tomorrow. Probably live at 11:05 a.m. UK time. I'll be live for an hour in the build-up to the game. We can speak about the team news that comes out. We'll speak about the pre-match press conference, pre-match interviews, if you want to call it that. We'll have a conversation. We'll get our predictions in. We'll have some match day fun. All right? Something I'm going to be bringing to the channel. This will be the first edition of it. So please do tune in. Thank you all for tuning in this week. Tell you what the lunchtime video is today. It's going to be on United's financials and transfers. I think you'll enjoy it. It's going to be quite informational. It won't be a suit and tie for the pre-game. I'll wait for the cup finals before I do that. Come on, man. I know the rules. Everybody have a cracking weekend. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'll see you after the game tomorrow as well. After we make it 4 from 4. And we win 4-1. Heard it here first.